Today, the OCG announced a card that I honestly think could change the way people build their decks for the foreseeable future. This card is that wonky that it's actually just worth making a video about altogether, and this is why I'm making this video today. We got Premium Pack 2026 announced, some of the cards, and if you don't remember what's Premium Packs, actually, last year, the Premium Pack for 2025 released the Magista support, the Titanic Galaxy support, all the new DD cards, the Scale Conveyor, Surveyor, stuff like that. This is where it comes from. It's usually like a bit of anime imports, to be honest, right? So, we got a bunch of cards here from this year's release. There's going to be more. I think this is the first wave of release for this one. I think it's called Promotion Pack and not Premium Pack, but guys, listen, let's start discussing this card because this video is going to be mainly about this one. So it is called Pair Bear Scare. Obviously, it's going to be translated in some sort of way in the future. I think it features some Fright Fur cards in the art, but it is a generic quick play spell card. It is completely generic. Listen to what it does. You can only activate one card with this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect once per duel. You know when there's once per duel in the card, that it's going to be crazy. So, first of all, your opponent can reveal another copy of this card in their hand or deck. If they do, each player gains 2,000 life points. But if they don't, destroy one monster they control. So, essentially, what this does is it will destroy a monster without targeting it, unless your opponent also reveals a card of this copy of a card in their deck. Meaning, if they play it in their deck, hand or a deck, they will reveal it, and the effect will not destroy a monster. It will actually gain both players 2,000 life points. Okay? So far? Alright. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, and this is the effect that you can use only once per duel, add this card to your opponent's hand. Okay? So obviously, as a quick play, destroying one monster your opponent controls without targeting is very, very, very strong. We have cards like Offering of the Doomed, we have cards like the Fallen of the Virtuous that require setup, deck building, a cost, whatever. This is just like, and they all target, by the way. This does not target, destroys a monster. But it's irrelevant if this card is good, right? Because if this becomes a really, really popular staple, meaning everybody plays it in their deck and can reveal it, it doesn't do anything except gain life points. So the better this card gets, and the more popular it gets, it sees more play, it will then see less play because it doesn't do anything. Which means that if it doesn't see play, people will start playing it again because this card is just strong. And then to counterbalance that, people will start playing it again. And the cycle continues of this card either being super broken or useless. The better it gets, the worse it gets, which is crazy. So, the other effect of adding this card to your opponent's hand, so you end up resolving it, this is mandatory, you add it to your opponent's hand, they can then use it, but assuming you play more than one copy than the copy you activated, it will then just gain 2,000 life points because you have a way to negate it, right? So I think this card is super, super interesting because of the whole mind game scenario where do you play it or do you not play it? Obviously on paper, if a card says quickly destroy one monster your opponent controls without targeting, it's a playable card. For sure, right? The Fallen of the Virtuous is seeing play right now. It is searchable, right? But in other decks, you can just use it as a board breaker. Even in Branded, you sometimes don't search it if you play 3 copies. Offering of the Doomed, for decks like Sky Striker, Runic, Radiant Typhoon, this card is great, right? But then do you actually play it if there's a chance your opponent also plays it? So this card is just so cool. Like, I like the design of this card for sure because it is a broken staple that is so easy to counter, but then it doesn't become broken anymore. But on paper, it is broken. This is such a mind F that I was really surprised to see this card. This will eventually come to the TCG. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this one. We're going to look at the other cards that were revealed. Nothing as spectacular as this one for sure, but give it a bit of a think, because this card is a thinker, right? You have to think about this card for sure. Okay, so we got a new level 3 Fire Beast. Cannot be tributed or used as Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz or Link material. If a monster is summoned to your opponent's field while this monster is on your field, target one of them, you switch control with this card, but that monster cannot be tributed or used as material for Fusion, Synchro, Xyz or Link monster while this monster is on the field, right? So you just switch up between them. Pretty cool interruption. I guess like as a beast, Tri-Brigade can make this easily as part of the end board. This is sort of like a Tri-Brigade support card. The problem is that you can't really like, can you actually tutor it directly from the deck? Like you're not going to use your normal summon for this card. So it is interesting as an interruption, just switch up your opponent. And this card cannot be used. It's just stuck there because they can't use it as material for anything, right? A new level 10 Dark Warrior Synchro monster. Generic, cannot be destroyed by battle. Oh, this card is also pretty cool. Each time a card or cards are placed in your opponent's spell and trap zone, which I don't know if it means that cards activating in your opponent's spell and trap zone count. And I don't think this is once per turn. Excavate cards from the top of your deck until you excavate a monster and equip it to this card. Also place the rest at the bottom in any order. So theoretically, if you play a deck that can place cards in your opponent's spell and trap zone, which I'm sure there are, like Snake Eye, stuff like that, you get to excavate multiple times and then equip. This card is 0/0, but it gains attack and defense equal to the levels of monsters equipped to it, times 300, which could get pretty big with like a couple of equips. If the total level of monsters equipped to this card are more than 21, destroy it. This is why it's not once per turn, so you have to give it some sort of limitation to hit some sort of ceiling. We went over Pair Bear Scare. We got Sente Hisu. Early Palm gets the win. Continuous spell card. Once per turn when an attack is declared involving your monster, roll a 6-sided die. Okay, also already not good. Apply this to the battling monster based on the result. To your battling monster until the end of the turn. If you activate this effect during a battle where 2 monsters in the same column, you just get to choose. Alright, cool. 1 or 4, the first time it would be destroyed by a battle card effect. It's not. Loses 500, but also is unaffected by the effects of spells and traps, except this card. 3 or 6, gains 1,000 attack. Also, it can make up to 2 attacks. So it can be used as a board breaker. And if you place the columns right, then you kind of win. Cool. Awesome. Lastly, Ibisu Shinsen Matsuri. Continuous trap. Once per chain. Uh-oh. That's also already scary. If an effect monster or monsters are special summoned, you can target one of them, special summon a Shinshin token, 0/0 level 3 water aqua, to its controller's opponent side of the field. So a monster is summoned, the opponent gets a token. Another monster is summoned, the opponent gets a token. You summon, your opponent gets a token. Okay. At the start of the battle phase, you can destroy this card and as many tokens on the field as possible. And if you do special summon 1 Ibisu token, its attack and defense become the number of tokens destroyed times 700. Sure, I suppose. This video was definitely about Pair Bear Scare. Give this card a think. I was really surprised reading this. Every time I read it again, I was like, hold up. What is this card? This is crazy. Very interesting if this will ever see play. I think it's too risky to play, but if it is too risky to play, then people are going to play it because it's free, right? If people decide as a group that they don't want to play this card, it's not meta, then people will play this card. And as a board breaker, just a generic card in your deck, pop a monster. Good job, Konami. This is a thinker. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below what you think about this card. Is it actually good? I'll see you in the next one. Peace.